Psychopaths are people with a very severe form of antisocial personality disorder. Their tendency towards violence, crime, and impulsivity coupled with their lack of concern for the feelings, needs, and rights of others is a dangerous combination. Learning to identify the signs of a psychopath can help you guard yourself against people with psychopath traits. Many psychopathic people are pathological liars and master manipulators, which can make it much more difficult to spot the signs of a psychopath. Psychopathic traits and characteristics often become more obvious when you have more frequent interactions with a person, at which point the symptoms of psychopathy may become more evident. Here are 11 signs of a psychopath to look out for. 1. Superficial charm, charisma. Psychopaths can be very charming, charismatic, and persuasive people. This can be especially so with female psychopaths, who are more social and emotional than their male counterparts. While they lack true empathy, they are often very skilled at faking pro-social behaviors like flattery, kindness, and false sympathy. They may use these skills to get things that they want from people, but eventually they are unable to keep up the act. Over time, the charm and charisma will probably wear off, unmasking an underlying coldness or cruelty. 2. Unnecessary cruelty or a mean streak. Once the superficial charm and charisma wears off, a psychopath will often demonstrate moments of cruelty or meanness. These may include gossip, biting comments, lashing out aggressively at others, or laughing or being entertained when they hurt or embarrass someone. Cruelty and meanness are hallmark signs of a psychopath, and often lead to a pattern of violating the rights of others. 3. Lies, exaggerations, dishonesty. Many psychopaths are prone to pathological lying. They may exaggerate the truth to get their way, inflate their ego, or get others to think, feel, or do what they want them to. Most normal people feel guilty or at least a little worried about being caught in a lie, but a psychopath's lack of conscience makes lying a guilt-free activity. In fact, deception is even a listed symptom of ASPD, and can even show up as a person faking remorse, empathy, or care and concern for other people. 4. Lack of accountability, playing the blame game. Psychopaths commit some of the most cruel, violent, and heinous acts in society, but they rarely take responsibility for their actions. Instead, they are more likely to blame other people, make excuses, and try to justify their actions, no matter how bad they are. This sign of a psychopath is indicative of their lack of morals, conscience, and empathy, meaning they do not have the same sense of right and wrong that most people do. 5. Need for power, control, dominance. Many psychopaths seek out positions of power and authority because they enjoy domination and control of other people. According to some research, psychopaths are slightly more likely to seek out and secure positions of leadership in the corporate world, suggesting there is a grain of truth in the stereotype of the psychopathic CEO. 8. There is also a known overlap between psychopathy, narcissism, and Machiavellianism, immoral and exploitative tendencies, which can lead to a hunger for power and control. 6. Sadistic enjoyment of pain, suffering. Sadism is a word that describes a sick sense of pleasure from the pain and suffering of other people. In some psychopathic people, the pain of others is sexually arousing, and in others, the pleasure is non-sexual and has more to do with excitement, power, or the rush of the experience. Not all psychopaths are sadistic, but this quality is not an uncommon trait in a psychopath, which may explain why psychopathic traits predict violent and sexually violent crimes with 80% accuracy. 7. Boredom, thrill-seeking behaviors. Because psychopaths lack some of the normal emotional wiring that most people have, it takes a lot more to excite them, make them happy, or give them a thrill. Psychopaths are overall less impulsive than sociopaths because they aren't driven by strong emotions, but their dulled emotional response may cause them to seek out thrills. This may be why psychopaths are more likely to engage in crime, violence, sexual promiscuity, and drug and alcohol use. 8. Disregard for rules, laws, norms. Psychopaths do not follow the same code of ethics as most people in society, which is why they often behave in immoral or even illegal ways. These may include minor offenses like inappropriate comments or profanity, or more serious offenses like crime and violence. While not all psychopaths are violent criminals, a very high percentage of people who commit crimes, especially violent crimes, have psychopathic traits. 9. Unaffected, unafraid of consequences. While most people who engage in criminal behaviors live in fear of being caught, psychopaths don't always have this same fear. This may be partially explained by the fact that psychopaths are believed to have abnormalities in areas of the brain that create normal fear responses, and also in the parts of the brain linked to impulse control and good long-term decision-making. 10. Detached, cold, callous demeanor. Researchers believe that psychopaths do not have the same emotional wiring as normal people, which is why they often display a cold, callous, and apathetic demeanor. The differences in the structure of their brains is believed to limit their ability to experience a normal range of human emotions, making them less likely to experience strong emotions. In situations when others are sad, upset, anxious, or excited, a psychopath may seem oddly detached or apathetic. 11. A history of childhood behavior problems. Antisocial personality disorder can be diagnosed only after the age of 18, but the signs and symptoms usually begin in childhood or early adolescence. Most psychopaths show signs of conduct disorder before the age of 15, and the most severe psychopaths may be able to trace their behavioral issues to before the age of 10. Some common signs of a psychopath in childhood include frequent fights, lying, stealing, cruelty to animals or other children, and a disregard for rules or authority. I believe with these tips mentioned you can quite identify any psychopath around you and know how to deal with them. What do you think? Did you know any tips that could help make things right? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed these tips, give it a thumbs up and share to your friends. It really does help us out. For more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, and also make sure to check up on other videos. Thanks for watching. This is Dark and Hub channel.